By June 1st, Britain enters a different kind of risk season. It's not just winter blackouts anymore, it's heat, water pressure, food prices, energy uncertainty, cyber disruption, and all the little things that stack up when systems are already stretched. So in this video, I'm going through 10 practical items I would get before June 1st, 2026. Not panic buying, not bunker fantasy, just normal things that make your home harder to disrupt. Welcome back to Charlie Survival. Before we get into it, subscribe if you're trying to build calmer, more practical preparedness here in the UK. And leave a comment below what's one item from this list you already have and what's one item you still need to sort. By the end, you'll have a simple plan for water, food, power, light, information, cash, heat, and first aid. Number one is water storage. I don't just mean a random 6-pack of bottled water under the stairs. I mean proper food-grade water containers you can fill, label, rotate, and actually rely on. Water feels boring until the moment it stops coming out the tap, and going into summer this matters even more. Heat waves increase demand, dry weather can put pressure on supply, and if there's a local mains issue, contamination warning, burst pipe or disruption, most people have almost nothing sorted. Start with enough drinking water to last at least 72 hours. Keep it somewhere cool and dark, label the date, rotate it. Don't wait until everyone else is buying bottled water at the same time. When water becomes a problem, it becomes a problem very quickly. Number two is proper home backup power. And this section of the video is sponsored by All Powers, who sent over their All Powers R4000 with the SP039 600 watt solar panel. This is a serious home backup unit. It has a 3456 watt hour life PO4 battery, a 4000 watts AC output, and with the solar panel setup, it gives you a proper backup option for real household essentials. I tested it on my fridge, normal home appliances, and my food dehydrator, and honestly, it worked really well. During a power cut, most people don't need to run the whole house. They need to keep the important things going: the fridge, freezer, communications, lights, router, medical devices if needed, and key appliances for short periods. For me, I upgraded because of the energy prices, grid pressure, storms, and the current uncertainty around power. This setup gives you breathing room. It keeps the food cold, devices charged, and information flowing. With the R4000, you're not just hoping the power stays on, you've actually got a solid plan. Power stations are also one of the things people leave too late. When demand spikes, this kind of kit becomes much harder to get quickly. I'll leave the link to this setup in the pinned comment, and use the code Charlie10 for 10% off the entire All Powers website. But as a standalone backup unit, this is a serious bit of kit. Number three is a non-electric cooking method. Food storage is great, but if you can't heat it, boil water, or cook a basic meal, it becomes much less useful. This could be a camping stove, small gas stove, Kelly kettle, alcohol stove, or outdoor cooking setup you already know how to use. Test it before you need it. Can you boil water? Can you heat soup? Can you make rice, pasta, or porridge? Do you have enough fuel? Never use barbecues, camping stoves, or gas cooking setups indoors. Carbon monoxide is invisible and it can kill. Keep it simple: a safe outdoor cooking method, fuel, lighters, matches, and a basic meal plan. Because in a disruption, food is not just calories, it's morale. Number four is a 14-day food buffer. Not emergency rations you'll never eat, I mean normal real food you already know how to cook. Oats, rice, pasta, tins, beans, soup, long life milk, olive oil, salt, tea, coffee, peanut butter, stock cubes. I like 14 days because it's realistic for most UK homes. It's not a warehouse, it's not panic buying, it's enough to stop every small disruption becoming a personal emergency. If prices rise, deliveries fail, or the shops are chaos, you've got options. That's what preparedness really is: options. Buy food you already eat, add one extra item each week. Put the newest items at the back, use the oldest first. Number five is a battery or wind-up radio. I know this sounds old-fashioned, but that's exactly why it works. When the internet is down, phone signal is patchy, the power is off, and everyone's refreshing social media, a radio can still give you updates. In a serious disruption, information becomes its own form of security. Where is the issue? How long might it last? Is travel affected? Are there water notices? A radio stops you guessing. And quick one before we carry on: I've put together a Charlie Survival Amazon kit list linked in the description. If you want a simple place to start with gear, and if you want the easiest free next steps, download my free blackout checklist in the description as well. And for people who want the full system, I built the UK Crisis Readiness System. There are now over 60 active members inside, and the feedback has been really positive because it gives people a proper step-by-step UK-specific plan for preparedness, rather than random bits of gear. Number six is head torches and LED lanterns. Not just a torch, torch, a head torch, because it keeps both hands free and useful. If the power goes out, you might need to check the fuse box, cook outside, help someone, or walk safely. Trying to do that with your phone and using it as multiple things is a nightmare. Then add 1 or 2 LED lanterns for rooms. Rechargeable is useful, but I also like battery options because redundancy matters. Candles have their place, but they create fire risk, especially if people are tired or moving around in the dark. Keep it simple: head torch, lantern, spare batteries, USB charging cable, and a fixed place where everyone knows how to find them. Number 7 is cash and paper backups. It's boring but important. Almost everything now depends on a screen. Banking apps, contactless payments, maps, passwords, insurance, emergency contacts. That's convenience until it isn't. So keep a small amount of cash at home in small denominations, not thousands, just enough to buy fuel, food, medicine, or supplies if card machines go down locally. Then print the basics: emergency contacts, insurance details, medication list, local taxi numbers, and anything you'd be stuck without if your phone died. I'd also like to keep a paper map in the car or at home, because sometimes the backup to digital life is paper. Number 8 is a water filter. Water storage gives you immediate supply. A water filter gives you options after that. For most people, I'd look at either a good gravity filter for the home or a reliable portable filter if you're outdoors a lot. The key thing is knowing what your filter actually does. Some filters are designed for bacteria and sediment. Some reduce chemicals, some are better for travel, some are better for home use. Check the specifications, learn how to clean it, learn what it can and can't remove, and test it before you need it. The worst time to read the instructions is when you're thirsty. Number 9 is a Heatwave kit. This is where June 1st really matters. Britain is not built brilliantly for heat. A lot of homes trap warmth, many people don't have air conditioning, and during a heat wave, sleep, hydration, older relatives, pets, food storage, and health can all become issues. So build a simple heat kit: a USB fan, electrolytes, water bottles, a sun hat, SPF, a thermometer, blackout curtains or reflective window covering. Keep curtains closed on the sunny side during the day. Ventilate when it's cooler. Check on older relatives, keep extra water ready. It's not extreme, it's just adapting to the weather we're actually getting. Number 10 is a first aid kit and medication buffer. In any disruption, small problems become bigger when you don't have the basics. A cut, a burn, a headache, hay fever, a stomach bug, a blister, a tick bite. Build a proper home first aid kit: plasters, bandages, antiseptic wipes, burn gel, painkillers, antihistamines, rehydration salts, tweezers, gloves, a thermometer, and any personal medication. If you have prescriptions, don't run them right down to the last day if you can avoid it. Speak to your pharmacist or GP about what's sensible and allowed. The point is not to become your own doctor. The point is to avoid being helpless over basic things. So those are your 10 items I'd get before June 1st, 2026. Water storage, home backup power, non-electric cooking, a 14-day food buffer, a battery or wind-up radio, head torches and LED lanterns, cash and paper backups, a water filter, a heatwave kit, and a first aid and medication buffer. None of this means something is definitely happening on June 1st. That's not the point. The point is that by June, a lot of pressure can overlap. Heat, water demand, food prices, energy risk, storms, cyber issues, and the general fragility of modern life. The calmest people are usually the ones who prepared before everyone else started paying attention. So comment below of the items you're sorting this week, and subscribe if you want practical UK preparedness and survival without the fear mongering. And don't forget to check out the All Powers R4000 in the pinned comment, and use the code Charlie10 for 10% off the entire All Powers website. And don't forget to download the free blackout checklist in the description if you're ready to go beyond random gear and build a full home readiness plan. Have a look at the UK Crisis Readiness System course. It shows you what to do first, what to buy, what not to waste money on, and how to build from 72 hours to longer disruptions. I'll also leave the Charlie Survival Amazon kit list in the description as well. Start with the free checklist, build the basics, then go deeper when you're ready. Because the goal isn't to live in fear, the goal is to live with options, and options is what keeps you calm when everyone else is reacting. Smash the like button if you enjoyed, and I recommend watching this video on screen next about how I got obsessed with prepping and the lessons I learnt. Click it and I'll see you over there.